This is the Randi Rhodes Show on 960 KNEW and online at 960KNEW.com.
Foolishly, you made it to April, and this is BS News for the 2nd of April 2012, and away we go. Dateline, the 1.00001%. This weekend saw a record $650 million jackpot payout in the Mega Millions lottery, making 3 people instant multimillionaires. Nobody was happier than Mitt Romney, who just saw his base increase by 3 voters. Dateline, countdown and out. On Friday, Keith Olbermann was fired from the current TV network, just like he had been fired from MSNBC and ESPN. Amazingly, Keith Olbermann has now been dropped by his network more times than all the Verizon customers in America combined. It's quite possible that nobody will ever see Keith Olbermann on television again. I should specify that I mean because he can't find another job. I wasn't saying he actually got hired by the Fox Business Channel. Dateline, good golly, Jane Pauley. NBC's Today Show has announced that on Tuesday, the show will be co-hosted by Sarah Palin, and that there will be a big surprise announcement from Ryan Seacrest. The surprise announcement will undoubtedly be that Sarah Palin has quit the 4-hour show halfway through. Dateline Paper Trail. The Pima, Arizona Air and Space Museum successfully launched a 45-foot, 800-pound paper airplane. The plane was reportedly made by tearing a page from the world's largest composition notebook. And finally, Dateline Extreme Quakeover. The venerable mascot for Quaker Oats has been redesigned to make him look thinner and more attractive. Quaker Oats says the changes were subtle, but most people's reaction has been to ask why their Quaker Oats box has a picture of Helen Mirren on it. That's all there is. You've got BS News. Have a great week.
Helen Mirren? Really? We want to welcome 1010 AM WGUN in Atlanta. For all of you who have streamed the show, gotten satellite radio, and assumed various positions of the Kama Sutra in order to get this show, that is no longer necessary. You just go into your car with no technology at all, turn on the AM radio, put it on 1010, and WGUN, a new progressive radio station in Atlanta, will be on the air. That's really good news. I'm excited and happy, and we thank them for doing this. So we left off by explaining to you that Joe Biden he was on Face the Nation this weekend, and he was saying, listen, I got to tell you, they used to hide the ball, these Republicans. I mean, they would run on stuff, and then, of course, it had nothing to do with what they really were all about. They like Newt Gingrich in his day, it was all about what? Term limits, right? The contract with America was going to be all about term limits, and it was going to be all about transparency, and sunlight was the best disinfectant, and, fiscal conservatism. And of course, it had nothing to do with term limits or fiscal conservatism. When George Bush became president, it was all about war and defense spending and spending for tax cuts for the richest Americans and deregulation of the financial industry to the point where our economy imploded upon itself, because you cannot have a consumer-driven economy without taking care and protecting consumers, meaning job creation, wage increases, opportunities, protecting the wealth of the American middle class, which is your home. Most Americans' wealth is their home. That is the greatest source of wealth.